Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first, I suppose, episode of Correct Me If I'm Wrong. My name is Nick and today it's talking time. Correct Me If I'm Wrong is supposed to be a series in which I take a look at previously covered titles in order to clarify stuff. But this video here is more vloggy than the originally intended way of making the series, so I apologize for that one. But it has several reasons. For once, I'd like to thank you people that watched my content and seem to enjoy it for God knows whatever reason. Apart from that, I'd like to thank the people as well that comment on my videos as well as the Steam reviews. It is always nice to get feedback and to discuss, or even in some cases find solutions for supposed problems. Another reason is that I want to talk about the way I go into reviewing a game, since I hope to clear some misunderstandings this way. It will start off by explaining something that normally should not really need an explanation. First Try is a first impression series. First impressions mean that I take a look at the first half an hour up to an hour of the game, raw gameplay. And I've set myself a time frame of about 4 hours per game, which means that I want to get the recording and the reviewing done within that set time frame. And I think it's quite a good time, since first impressions aren't supposed to cover the majority of the game, you know? After that hour, and going into recording, I asked myself whether or not I would want to continue playing this game and why. And the result of this question decides my final verdict concerning recommending this game or not, and basically that's the entire magic behind it. The other content of the video is more the reasons why I want to continue playing or not, you know. And now in the case of RPGs, some might consider doing first impressions being unfair to the game, since in an hour, especially in major RPGs, you generally don't get down that much. What I have to say though is that in 1 hour you should get a good impression about combat mechanics, character development and story delivery, which for me are good factors to decide whether or not I want to continue playing this game. And you know, with that introduction we come to the actual point of this video. Steel and Steam Episode 1. After receiving first comments on the review, I replayed the game from the start and did all the side quests I found. I've updated the written review stating that I came to the point that I now have the problem with the first major boss of the main storyline. By the way, the footage in the background shows you what boss I'm talking about and what my party looks like at this point. But before I go into the comments, I want to reiterate once more the reason why I, from my point of view, cannot recommend this game. I can't recommend it because I could not care less doing endless grinding just to hit an exact requirement in order to progress through the main storyline. This includes doing the optional side quests. Okay, I suppose they were optional if you could progress further on without doing them, which is definitely not the case here. So it's more an illusion of choice, which I'm definitely not okay with. And so, there you have it, yet again. And I thought, after pointing out these points, my verdict would be explained far and wide. But it seems this is not the case here. And at this point I will cite some parts of comments on the review side. And I would like the people that wrote these comments not to view the following points as a personal attack. So, first off we have the comment stating that the game seems too hard for me and therefore I gave the game the thumbs down. Comments like this one remind me a lot of the old WoW forums. Whenever a thing had a huge time sink as a requirement, was about to have its time requirements reduced or removed, comments like this one appeared. Another thing is, for example, people that claim that vanilla WoW raiding was harder than nowadays raids. And all these points always come down to the same answer and the same result time and time again, which is the fact that time has nothing to do with skill. And when it comes down to this JRPG, there is not that much skill involved in the early levels. Doing quests or fighting underlevel opponents has nothing to do with skill. and being crushed by an overpowered and seemingly unbalanced enemy does not come from a lack of skill. That's a goddamn fact! Let's move on, shall we? Another comment states that I don't understand anything about quote-unquote classic RPGs, which then is extended 2 lines further into the comment to the point that I have a lack of experience with RPGs in general. Well, I could start off by saying that I've played a lot of RPGs in the last 15 years or so. Some of them even were JRPGs, you know? But this is not a very good point to make, which can also be said about this person's allegation. So let's go further into the comment where he goes on to say that I would know then that I have to level up a bit when something's stomping me. He also makes the point that I didn't take my time developing my characters. Well, he's quite right on that one, you know. I have to level up when something is beating me. Alternatively though, I could use different skills, as in most other RPGs, you know. And in this game, this is not really possible though, because of the limited amount of skills I have. And this ties the point together I want to make. Due to being able to use a different set of skills or stat distributions as in most other RPGs, I don't really need to level up any further than I do when playing the main storyline. In the case of Steel&Steam though, even when I do all the side quests I've found, I still have to engage in a lot of extra encounters, otherwise I won't be able to beat the boss. This would not happen if there was any possibility to customize the stats of my characters in a way, or if I had more skills to choose from in combat. All in all, it does not count to my lacking experience with RPGs, this is more bad game design in general. And finally, the same person goes on to say that WoW and Dota are more my speed. I know it's a little bit nitpicky to say that, but well, I do it anyway. First off, Dota is not a freaking RPG. I don't know where these impressions come from, but I assume he has taken a look at my profile and found out that I have a lot of playtime in Dota. Anyway, I played WoW as well, as my older videos might show you. And one thing I notice now, thanks to this comment, is another point that speaks against the game. Well, thank you for that one. Doing the side quests in this game, I started saying to myself, wow, these side quests are quite a lot like vanilla WoW fetch quests. And oh, take a look! The quest design of the side quests is the exact same as in the old WoW days. Backtracking as far as the eye can see. For example, a quest in the east of the overworld, take it to the southwestern end of the overworld and back again, and then back to the southern part of the overworld, and then back again, and it's beautiful. I've missed that not. And if this is not very familiar to you, then good, because you don't want to know that when you have done quests post Wrath of the Lich King or basically in any other RPGs. So there we have it. A bit more elaborately laid out reasons why I cannot recommend Steel&Steam Episode 1. Well, this has been a fairly lengthy one, so thank you for watching this video for all this time. And with that said, I shall see you guys next time.